Fine. To understand absolute value equations and how to solve them, we should probably talk about what an absolute value is. Agree? Okay. So here's what an absolute value is. If I ask you for the absolute value of a number, I'm asking you for the size of the number without regard to the sign of it. So when I say what's the absolute value of -8, it's 8. It's asking you, basically, how far is the number from 0 on the number line? All right? What's the size of the number? Not its direction, left or right, just the size of it. So what's the absolute value of 6? What's the absolute value of -4? 4. What's the absolute value of 4? 4. So I think you understand what an absolute value is. It seems kind of stupid, right? Because you just drop the sign. But that's what it is. It's a mathematical operation, absolute value. So when they ask you to solve something like number 1, it's saying, what would be in here to make 9? So it's asking you, what goes in here to make 9? 9 or -9, right? So that's the answer. X would equal positive or negative 9. So what we find is every operation in math has an opposite, right? Let's go back to a blank page again. If I said x plus 2 equals 4, how would you get x? You'd take away 2, right? If I say the square root of x is 9, what would you do? Square both sides. What's x? 81. So everything has like an opposite to undo an equation. So the question I've been getting is, how do you undo that? How do you undo those symbols? And here's how. You undo this by getting rid of it and making the other side plus or minus. Okay? Remember that. You get rid of the bars. Once you get to the bars, you get rid of them by dropping them and setting the other side equal to plus or minus. So, we arrive at number 2. I've made it to the bars. There was nothing to do to get to the bars. How do I get rid of them? You get rid of them, but make the other side plus or minus. Now just continue to solve it the normal way. What would you do to get x by itself? The students say subtract 2. And after subtracting 2, you have to do it twice. Because you have to do positive 5 minus 2, which is what? Positive 5 minus 2 is 3. And then you have to go back and do negative 5 minus 2, which is the other answer, negative 7. Okay? I want to show you with a graph why you get 2 answers. What would the graph of this look like? Well, if you didn't watch the video, you might not know what the absolute value of x looks like. Okay? It is a v. The absolute value is a v going through the origin. That's where the point is. This one would be shifted left how many? 2. So imagine this v left 2. What it's asking us is, when does it reach a y value of 5? When does it reach 5? So, if you go up to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and do a horizontal line. Let's change colors, right? If I drew a horizontal line up there at 5, how many times would this v hit it? Twice. Once at negative 7, and once at 3. That's why we have 2 answers. Just like parabolas, the v will have 2 answers as well. Look at 4, though. If you're wondering about number 4 on this page, why it doesn't make sense, because there's no solution. How would this V be graphed? Talk about left, right, up, down. How would this be graphed? Left 2, up 5. There would be a V. Right. When would it reach a Y value of 4? Never. It's above that. So there's no solution. It's above that. It's just too much. So that's a little bit about solving absolute values. Try to complete the rest of the page. We'll talk next time.